Yeah, hello and welcome to my today's comparison and hands-on video of the Fotga NIKON to Micro Four Thirds adapters. As you can see, I have both models here. On the left side, the classical one for manual focusing lenses and for AFD lenses from Nikon, for example, or let's say for lenses which are equipped with a aperture control ring on the lens barrel directly. And on the right side, there is the second model, which is additionally also compatible to AFS lenses. And the problem with the AFS lenses is that they don't have a aperture control ring on the lens barrel anymore, and so you need such an adapter with a aperture control ring function to use your AFS lenses on your Micro Four Thirds body, for example. Before I show you the adapters in detail, 2 points. Point one, and that's very important, they are extremely cheap. They only cost around $10 or so. I paid, I think, 22 including shipment. It's possible, for example, to get such an adapter for each of your Nikon lenses. So your lens collection is getting more comfortable to use, especially if you change very often between different lens types. For example, Nikon F, Micro Four Thirds, Canon FD, and so on. It's also not that of a problem if you lose one, if you break one, if one is stolen, because as said, it only costs $10. And compared to other adapters, which are at least priced around 30 or $40, you get 3 or 4 of these Fotga adapters for the same price, and that's very nice. And I also have to mention, for example, this adapter also only costs $10, and it's compatible to AFS lenses, and that's the nice point, because for example, I owned a NobelFlex adapter for many months, but I sold it because I only use manual focusing lenses, and so with such a $10 adapter, I still have at least the option to test out AFS lenses, to mount sometimes maybe a macro or to borrow or maybe as AFS lens from a friend or so. And I have to say, for $10 it's more than okay, this adapter. I will show you the details in a few minutes. And I also have to mention, it's very nice, especially, for example, if you want to try out your AFS lenses, especially before you, for example, invest a fortune in a NobelFlex adapter, which is priced around $150, $160 or so, or even more. Here at Europe, it's priced, I think, around 130, 140 euros or so. And here you have at least the option to test out for only $10 your complete AFS collection before you invest that much money, and so it's really nice. Or it's, as said, if you're not often using AFS lenses, it's also very nice. I will show you first the details of the standard adapter. As you can see, and here it's made out of metal, and it's coated with a nice black finish. The mechanical quality is also very nice, especially for $10. By the way, with $10, I also mean 10 euros here at Europe. I paid only 22 euros for both adapters, including shipment, over the Amazon free shipment program of from an external dealer. So if you're here at Europe, they're also available for this price at Amazon. Let's get back to the adapter. So for $10, the quality is quite astonishing, and the good point is that there's absolutely no play on both sides. So on the Nikon F mount side and the Micro Four Thirds mount side, and that's great because other cheap adapters often have play on both sides or on one of the sides, and so they are not usable. And this one is usable, as you like, and it's also usable with follow focus systems because there is absolutely no play. The only this is the standard adapter. I can't show you anymore. It's there's not much to tell anymore. I only want to mention one con, and this is only little con or a small con. As you can see here, maybe. There are sometimes it's sometimes losing a few particles if you mount it as very often, but if you know it, it's not that of a problem. For example, you can use such a blowing device By the way, if you don't have one, this Giada cue ball is very, very nice. And yeah, as said, if you know that it's sometimes losing a few particles, yeah, clean it before mounting, and this be 1-2 seconds before changing your lens. Yeah, it's, I think, not that of a problem. So this is the only con, especially compared to the more expensive adapters from Novoflex or from Kippen, which is written KYPON. So you also can check out the Kippen adapters. Yeah, and yeah, but for $10 I can recommend it. I really can recommend it. And I will also get a few more for my complete lens collection, because yeah, for $10, who cares? Okay, now let's get to the Fotga adapter. As you can see, it's also made out of metal, and it has the same coating and also the same coating issue. But it's of the same quality. Especially there is also no play, absolutely no play on both sides on both mounting sides. And yeah, but let's get to the feature of this adapter. As you can see, here's the aperture control ring, and here is the first problem. First, you can hear there's metal touching metal, so it's not possible to adjust it smooth. You have to be very patient, and yeah, you have to concentrate on the control to, or let's say you have to use much force to control it very smooth. So it's not possible, for example, to open up the aperture on the footage or so. It's only possible to adjust it before shooting, and it's also yeah, as said, I think it's only usable, this adapter, if you want to try out your lenses once before you invest more in a Kippen or in a Novoflex adapter, or if you're like me, not using AFS lenses that often, because with this adapter you have at least the option to control the aperture. Yeah, so the quality of the aperture control ring isn't, yeah, the best. Especially there's also a small problem here with the aperture control screw, as you can see here, which is turning, because you can, especially when mounting and unmounting, and you try to unmount the lens in the wrong direction. With this adapter, it's possible to try to unmount it in the wrong direction, and then you're touching this screw here with the aperture control blade, or notch here, or I don't know how I should call it, and then it's possible that you maybe damage your lens or your adapter, and so yeah, you have to look before unmounting in which direction you're turning your lens. But it's the same, like compared to the coating. If you know it, it's not that of a problem. But with Novoflex, for example, there's a limiter, and here is no limiter, and so yeah, maybe if as said before, if you intend to use it very often, maybe in a Kippen or a Novoflex is much better, or is the better investment. Yeah, I also want to show you the mounted adapters. As you can see, and yeah, as I can show you, there's absolutely no play, and so it's really nice to use this adapter. There's also absolutely no play, as said, on the Micro Four Thirds side, but I don't have a second Micro Four Thirds body here, because actually I'm filming with my GH2, and yeah, so you have to believe me that there is really no play. One point I have to mention, there's a little bit of play within the mounting, but in the mount direction, or let's say you can turn it a little bit when it's mounted, but that's not a problem of the adapter itself. It's normally a problem of the Micro Four Thirds mount, because this problem, for example, on my GH2 is also the case with the Novoflex adapter, with the original Micro Four Thirds adapters, and so yeah, it's not a problem of this one. As you can see, and as I can show you, it's possible to control the aperture with the ring, but as you can see, it's not possible to control it that smooth, because as said, metal here is touching metal here, and so yeah, maybe it's better to, as said, to get a more expensive one if you intend to use it very often. But yeah, it's possible to control the aperture. and the quality is also okay, especially for 10 euros. I also want to show you the standard adapter. This one is also very stiff, and there's no play. And I have to say, if you're using, like me, only manual focusing lenses, I think it's better to use this adapter, because as you can see, it's also very nice in combination with manual focusing lenses, and it's much better because there is no adapter ring wobbling around if you handle the lens. There is a much bigger space because there's no aperture ring to handle your lens, to mount, to unmount it, and so yeah, and it's also very nice to and not that visible compared to this one, for example. It's a more decent optic also, and yeah, especially if you're using, for example, such an adapter for each of your lenses, it's surely really nice, because yeah, as said, it's much more comfortable to use it this way. And yeah, I want to mention there's no aperture ring, so you can handle it better. And I also want to mention, you don't have to buy an adapter with an aperture control ring when you only have or use manual lenses, because they always have the aperture control ring. And with this ring, you know at least where you are. For example, you can adjust within a second from 2.8 to 4, and you know, for example, I shouldn't go over 8 or 11 with my GH2, and so you can put it on an 8, and that's it. With the aperture control ring adapter, it's not possible to know where you are, because you don't know. In this position, for example, I'm now at 11, or where am I? I'm at 8, 11, or whatever, 5, 6 or so. And it's also not possible, for example, always to look in front and look for, where am I? Because yeah, that's quite annoying. And as said, if you're using manual focusing lenses, don't buy such an adapter, because it's not useful. I think it's not that useful, so I think and I hope I showed everything, and I hope you enjoyed this comparison. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to ask me directly, or leave a comment, or write a private message or so. As said, I hope you enjoyed this. Subscribe if you want to see more. There will also come videos about LED lights, the Z96 I want to review and compare, for example, and maybe also the 209 A.S and 312 A.S LED models. I hope you enjoyed it. Subscribe if you want, and